Hey guys, it's Diana. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about true crime a little bit, just to give us something structured to talk about. And for those of you that are new here, this channel is for people that have ADHD or just have a hard time starting a task or getting through a task. And maybe maybe it's easier for you if somebody is in the room with you, or if you're talking to somebody, or if you're listening to something in the background. And that is where I come in. So that is why I'm here. So you can put this on, walk away from it. You don't have to pay attention to it. You don't have to watch what's on the screen. It's just going to be videos and pictures that I've taken personally of animals and the sky and just a bunch of, interesting things, I guess. And I want to preface this video with saying that I'm not a police officer, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a judge, I'm not a juror, I'm not anything like that. Everything that I say in this video is alleged and it's my own opinion, and I have gathered the information from public places. And yeah, so it's all allegedly, okay? Everything is alleged. All right, guys. So I'm gonna stop this and then go right into the next recording. Hey guys, it's Diana. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be diving into, I think, a little bit of true crime today. So probably each episode will have like a different topic or many random different topics within one go. Just because like I might go off on a tangent and then that might strike something else for me to think of, and then I'll start talking about that. So actually there's no telling what will happen here. Okay, but today I want to talk about Anna Kepner. And I don't know if you guys have heard of her or heard of this case, but it is a true crime case. And it's about an 18-year-old girl who went on a cruise with her father, her brother, and then her father's new wife, and her 16-year or 15-year-old son. And then I also think it was his daughter, his other younger daughter, the dad's other younger daughter, or the stepmom. I don't know. The grandparents were there and everything. Basically, what happened was Anna Kepner, 18 years old, just getting ready to graduate, went on this cruise basically to celebrate her graduation. She was getting ready to go to the Air Force and everything. And her stepbrother killed her in the cabin and then shoved her body. Maybe I shouldn't say the word Kill because I think YouTube blocks that. Anyways, he unalived her and then shoved her under the bed in the little cabin room, and then like shoved a bunch of life jackets over her, and like that was gonna hide her or something, like, oh, nobody will see her if she has freaking life jackets on her. Like, what? So anyways, then I guess he just like went on about his day, and then, well, morning I should say, because then the cleaning people came in at like 11:15 or so, and then I guess that's when they found her. But can you imagine, you're just like, doing your job, going to clean, and then you go in a room, you're cleaning under the bed and stuff, and you find a fucking arm hanging out. Like, what? That would have to traumatize you. I don't care. I don't actually know how like police officers and detectives and all this shit like see bodies and bodies. I mean, I guess you get desensitized to it, fine, but that doesn't traumatize you like forever in the back of your mind somewhere. Maybe you don't even know that it traumatized you. Also, like a thing with that is like child actors, right? Like child actors that are in scary movies and stuff, and they're like crying and freaking out and they don't know what's going on. They're like 2-3 years old. You don't think that messes with them when they're older? Like, does it mess with them when they're older? I don't even think they can tell like reality from not reality at that age. And then if you even think about it, what about kids that are like a year old or 6 months old and they play in these movies? How can that not fuck them up? Honestly, how can that not mess with their brain or their reception or perception of reality? Because kids don't even know that their dreams are fake when they're that little. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why, like, if your kid is ever like, oh, well, when I was younger, you used to do this, or when I was younger, remember when you locked me in the closet, or whatever crazy nonsense that kids say. And parents are always like, what? I never did that. Like, what are you even talking about? They probably dreamt it. And to them, it is real because they can't tell the difference at that age, like between what's real and what's not. And they don't even have the language for it. You know what I mean? So yeah. And see, right then, I don't even know where I was going with that. I don't know. But anyway, back to, oh yeah, Anna Kepner, and it messing with the people that find them. So then I guess the stepbrother, the one that unalived her, was then like, oh, I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what happened. And then went into some kind of like, I want to say a baker's hold, but I'm not exactly sure. I think that is what it is. It's where like people, like your family can call, I don't know, the authorities, I guess. I don't know who they are. And tell them that they're worried about you and that you need to be basically like watched for 72 hours or so because they don't know if you're going to do something to yourself or what. I'm pretty sure it's called a baker's hold. So then he had that, and then I really don't know what's going on since then. He has not been arrested yet, so I don't know. All I know is like the mom had a custody case because her ex-husband, which is the stepbrother who did the unaliving, it's his dad. He's trying to get custody of the youngest daughter. Okay, so it must have been her daughter, not the other guys. Okay. And saying that like the mom is unsafe and everything like that. And I guess like this 16-year-old boy that did the unaliving, he's living with like family members or something. So I don't know what is going on. I don't know. People are saying like they don't know if they were drinking. And then like, I guess the boy missed medications. I guess he has like 2 sleeping medications that he takes and then something else for ADHD. But hello, this whole channel is for ADHD. And guess what? We're not out here unaliving people, okay? If we miss our medicine, it's not going to make me run around and unalive people. I could tell you that much. So, I don't know. But I guess he also took medicine to help him sleep. So basically, he's taken a stimulant and then a depressant, I guess it would be, right? An upper and a downer. An upper to wake him up and then a downer to make him go to sleep. And I guess he missed like his sleeping ones. But I don't know. I mean, I know like a lack of sleep can make people crazy. Can make like, I mean, honestly, it's happened to me. I wasn't crazy, but I was like slightly delusional, I guess. Slap happy. Slap happy is a real thing. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that case, but it's just very interesting to me because like the father of the girl of Anna and then his new wife, who is the mother of the unaliver, they're still married. But can you even imagine staying married to the person whose kid just unalived your kid? Like what? And they just recently got married too. I think it's like recent. I would be like, we have not even been married for 2 years and your kid already murked my kid. So yeah, we got to get divorced. I just don't understand how you would be like, I don't know. How do you then spend every day with that person knowing that because you're with them, your freaking daughter is not alive anymore? I mean, not because you're with that person, but you got with that person and as a result of that, because you put this younger kid in your daughter's life, I guess. And it's not anybody's fault. I'm just saying, like, wouldn't you think that, like, if I didn't do this or if I would have just did this, then this wouldn't have happened. I'm sure he's thought about that. He has to. Like, he has to think about that. And then I guess, like, the whole thing with Anna's mother, I guess she's, like, on drugs or was on drugs. I don't know. She looks like it. Sorry, Anna Kepner's mom. But, I guess she wasn't allowed at the funeral, so she said that she like snuck in wearing like really tall shoes and a long wig, but I don't even believe that shit. I don't know. It's just cases like this. I'm like, what? I don't get it. Was the boy, I guess Anna's ex-boyfriend says that the stepbrother was like obsessed with Anna and wanted to date her and all this other stuff. And I guess one time when Anna and her boyfriend were on FaceTime, like I guess Anna had fallen asleep, but her boyfriend was still awake or whatever, and he saw the stepbrother come in Anna's room and like climb on top of her and basically like try to do stuff with her. And then the boyfriend like was like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. The boyfriend said he told the parents and I don't know. But the boyfriend is only 15 and Anna's 18 and Anna's stepbrother is 16. So I don't know. My mind goes to, was she like giving that boy, like her stepbrother, I don't know. Did he like think that she liked him or that like he had a chance with her or something? Maybe she was like accidentally giving off some kind of vibes or something. I don't know. I have no idea. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know. So I guess we'll have to find out. But I always try to look and see if I see anything new about it. It's just so sad. Like, she's celebrating on a cruise and then she's just gone. Nobody knows why. So, all right. Well, this is 11 minutes so far. I'm going to stop it here, and then later on today, I will probably record something else and then stitch it together. Okay, guys. Maybe I'll come up with like a new true crime case that I want to talk about and then just stitch it to this one. But we shall see. All right, guys. See you in a little bit. And I'm back. Okay. So we just finished with, well, we didn't finish, but I was just catching you guys up with, I guess, Anna Kepner. And now I want to talk about Bryan Kohberger, because Bryan Kohberger, his case was like, man, it was huge, right? It was huge. And this was 3 years ago. It's the Idaho 4 murders. I'm sure everybody has heard of it. Well, most people anyway. With Bryan Kohberger, and he killed the 4 campus kids. And then like there was like a bunch of stuff going around that he wasn't guilty. They didn't have enough evidence. Things weren't, stacking up. There was other DNA, all this other stuff. And even at one point I was like, wow, maybe he really didn't do it. Maybe he really didn't. His lawyer, Ann Taylor, seemed so sure that he didn't do it. She literally stood up in court and said, Your Honor, Bryan is innocent. And most lawyers don't do that. And she did it, and she sounded so convincing. And I was like, maybe he is. Maybe he is. Because the thing is that you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, right? Well, she created a whole bunch of doubt in me. So I don't know. And then like he just turned around and then admitted it all and said he was guilty. And if you watch the hearing of him saying that he's guilty, he sounds like he's answering questions at the DMV. Like, do you wear contacts? Yes. Are you an organ donor? Yes. Do you want to donate $5? No. You know what I mean? Like, he literally sounded like he was answering questions to shit like that. And his mom was there and his sister was there. And I feel really bad for the family of the perpetrators. I really do. I feel really bad for the victim's family, of course, right? That's like a given. But nobody really ever thinks about the perpetrator's family. You know what I mean? Do you think that they like having somebody that unalived 4 people in their family? No. How do you think it feels to them to know that the person that they loved and grew up with, or even his mom, hell, she raised this man, right? She raised this man. He was a little boy running around at one point. You know what I mean? She was snuggling him and burping him when he was a baby. And then all of a sudden now he's a cold-blooded unaliver. How do you even wrap your mind around that? How? And his sister just spoke out finally. And it's been 3 years since this happened. But she just spoke out and said that, she never would have thought it was him. She never would have thought it was him. So I don't know. And I guess I haven't kept up with the case in a while. But I guess now if you watch other true crime YouTube channels on YouTube, I guess there's more information that has came out because the police department is slowly releasing the information, because all that is public. But because there was a gag order and everything else, people really couldn't get information. But now people are filing FOIAs, which is the Freedom Act, to get public information on cases. Like anybody can do it. You can do it if you want. You have to pay money, but you could do it. So I guess all this new information is coming out about further things not adding up. And I guess Kaylee's boyfriend, Jack Decor, I think his last name is something like that, was the main suspect for like the first month. And they said that Kaylee and Maddie tried to call him, I think like 8 or 9 times that night. And it was known to us, or told to us, that they never spoke. She never got a hold of him. She called him a bunch of times. He never answered. But I just heard and I just read that they indeed did have a conversation that night. So what does that mean? What was the conversation? I don't know. I'm going to have to look more into it. But anyways, back to the families of like the perpetrators. I feel bad for them. I really do. And there's no help for the perpetrator's family through the court systems or whatever. There's no advocates really for them. Except for like Carrie Rawson, which is BTK's daughter, because she knows firsthand how it feels. You know what I mean? And there's no help or support for people. And then those families are like ostracized and looked at crazy and funny because they have a family member that did these terrible things. But Jesus, I mean, how do you think they feel? People are like, oh, how do they not know? How do they not know? Very freaking easy, because those people that do things like that are master manipulators. You're not going to know. You're not going to know. You're not going to know. If they don't want you to know, you're not going to know. So I don't know. They never found the knife, though, that they said Bryan used. They just found the knife sheath under Maddie's body. And I'm pretty sure they said they had no blood on it, which I don't understand how that happened, but whatever. And, the two surviving roommates, Dylan and Bethany, Dylan said that Bryan Kohberger freaking walked right past her and looked her right in her eyes and just kept it moving right out the back sliding door. Bye. And she just, slowly backed into her room and locked the door, which is what we initially thought, which is what she initially said. And then we find out that no, she was texting Bethany like, oh, I'm afraid, I'm scared, I just saw somebody. And then Bethany's like, oh, hey, run down in my room. It's better than being alone. At least we'll be down here together. And then she does. She just takes off, goes downstairs. They stay up for a while. And then nobody calls 911. Nobody calls 911 until the next day around noon. And they say the murders happened around 4 a.m. So the people that call 911 are not even the roommates. I'm pretty sure it's the friends that they called over first to check because they were too afraid to go check. Even though Dylan said she saw Xana laying on the floor and she thought she was passed out, literally not moving her head, just weird. I don't know. There's a lot of things that don't make sense about that. But I just don't understand why somebody would say they're guilty if they're not. If there was enough evidence to prove reasonable doubt and you really didn't do it, wouldn't you take your chance? Even if you were afraid of the death penalty, wouldn't you take your chance and then try to appeal it afterwards? Because they're not going to kill you right away. People are on death row forever. Not forever, but a long time. Okay? A long time. So he could have maybe did something in between that time to help prove his innocence if he was found guilty. There's no fucking way I would ever admit to murking 4 people if I didn't do it. You may as well just fucking kill me. You may as well kill me before you put me in prison for something that I didn't do, or put me in prison for anything. I could not stand that. I'd be like a caged animal. I would literally be jumping up on the bars and rattling them like the fucking monkeys at the zoo. I'm not even kidding. I would go crazy. So yeah, I won't be committing any crimes over here. But I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to end this right now. I'm at 10 minutes. I'm going to stitch this together with my other one. My oldest daughter, she's 25. She was listening to my video earlier and she's like, so are you going to make longer ones? Because my tasks are an hour long. And I'm like, yes, I will. I will make some tasks. I will make longer videos. And I was like, hey, we could, start a podcast and just have both of us talking. And she was like, no, I'm not doing that. It's just like when her and I used to have a book club, and she said we didn't really have a book club. She just didn't want to admit that we're dorks. Even though we read the same book, and then after we were done, we talked about the book, she said we were not in a book club. A book club of 2. But whatever. She's funny. Okay, so I'm going to end this now. I'm almost at 11 minutes. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. There will probably be another segment to this. If not, then I don't know. I think I want to make it to at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So I think I got another 10 to go. All right, guys. I will talk to you probably in a couple seconds. Bye. Hey guys, it's Diana. Welcome back to my channel again. This is now the 3rd segment for this episode, I guess. I'm trying to make them as long as I can for you guys so you can do longer tasks, since my daughter told me that she needs ones that are longer. But this segment, I want to talk about the first thing that got you into true crime. If you're into true crime, what was the case that got you into it? for me, it was Gabby Petito. I don't know if I had ever watched true crime before then. I mean, that's a lie. Casey Anthony. She was a big one that I watched, but this was years ago, and I was not into true crime then. That was just like the biggest case that was going on at that time, but I didn't follow true crime. But now I do. And the case that got me started was Gabby Petito. And man, I remember thinking after she passed away, after her boyfriend unalived her on their, they were doing like a van life. They were traveling, going, just cross country or whatever. And I guess being in those close quarters together, because they had like redid a Sprinter van and they were living in that basically. I don't know if it was like too much together time or what, but they had started arguing a lot, and he was caught putting his hands on her by passerbys. They even got pulled over. They even got separated for the night. And then I believe 2 weeks later, he strangled her and threw her fucking body in the desert. And oh my God, Bryan fucking Laundrie. Like, I don't know. I don't even know. But then he came back. After he unalived her, he drove all the way back. And I believe he did that in Utah. I'm not 100% sure because I don't remember. I could be wrong. But then drove all the way back to Florida in her Sprinter van using her credit cards for gas and stuff, and then came back, never told her parents anything, wouldn't talk to the police, nothing. His parents wouldn't help, just nothing. And then what does he do? He takes off, and as everybody's looking for him, including Dog the bounty hunter, came in to try to find this guy, he then just unalives himself in the woods. And his mother finds exactly where he is after the police were searching for him. She just so happens to go exactly where his body is, right? But she also picked up the Mustang from the park that he parked it in. So how did she know to do that, right? Like, come on. We know the mom knew something. Allegedly. But allegedly, I think she did. Okay? And, I mean, they got sued and everything by Gabby Petito's parents. So, but I think that she cut a deal. I think the mom cut a deal to be like, we will tell you where his body is if we don't get in any trouble. If we're like not an accomplice, we will tell you where to find him. And I think the police maybe just wanted to give Gabby's parents some closure, and they agreed to it. Because also, I understand Bryan Laundrie's mom's point of view too. And this is something that comes with being an empathetic person. I just automatically see both sides. I did not used to be like this, okay? But now I am. And I can't help but to see both sides. And I feel for his mom too. I mean, if your son, who you love, whom you have raised, comes to you and tells you, because maybe he gave her some sob story, right? Maybe he lied to her too. Maybe just like he lied in his little journal that he wrote about the reasons why he did it as a mercy kill. He said she had hurt herself. So she had hurt herself. So what was she, like a lame horse or something, and you had to put her down? Like, I don't get it.
Even in his death, he couldn't fucking tell the truth. Even nobody would even be able to say anything to him afterwards, and he still couldn't tell the truth. What does that tell you? You know that you're about to unalive yourself. Wouldn't you want to unload all that stuff and just kind of clear your conscience? But no. He was like, I don't care. Whoever reads this in the future, they can tell my ghost that they believe me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to think that I did it. I don't know. They say that he was narcissistic and stuff, but they also said that they didn't think that he would unalive himself because of his narcissism. But I just think he was like, I really don't want to go to prison for the rest of my life, which I don't blame him. So I'm just going to take care of that right now. Which leads me to assisted suicide. Sorry, I told you guys I'm going to be jumping around all over the place. Assisted suicide. I believe in it. I believe that people should choose when they want to exit this ride that we call life. You know what I mean? How is it illegal for you to end your own life? Why is that illegal? You know what I mean? What does the government have anything against me unaliving myself? Why do they care? You know what I mean? Like, why do they care? They don't even know me. Why do they care? I'll tell you why. Control. Because what? Then if I unalive myself, I'm not contributing to taxes or what? Honestly, I'm telling you, my God, this is a whole topic for a whole other day to get into, how the government controls us and all this crap that they want us to believe. Like, oh man, that really gets me going. That really shreds my carrots. That's for next episode though, guys. I guess I'll leave it off with, Bryan and Gabby. I thought to myself when this all came out that Gabby, even in her death, was going to help so many people and so many women to leave abusive relationships. And she has. And her dad and her mom has came out and said that she has. And people email them and everything all the time and tell them that. So I am proud of Gabby. And if I were her parents, I would be super proud. It's tragic. It's so tragic. So tragic. But I guess the silver lining is that she is saving lives through her own death. I mean, and that's sad, but she's a hero. And with that, I will end this segment, guys. I'm going to upload this later. So I hope you guys like it and listen to it. Tell me what you guys think. If you guys have any recommendations of what you want me to talk about, or if you have any channel recommendations, what you think I can do better, just let me know, please. I appreciate all the feedback and comments. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.